Let's dive into the discussions shaping the nation.
Thanks, Cairloch, and I want to thank Deputy Murphy and Deputy Coppinger for bringing forward this important bill, and very timely. Minister, as a state, we're well behind other EU states in terms of the rights of workers to be represented by a trade union. Most other EU states, that's a legal guarantee, so we're completely out of line with most of the rest of our European neighbours. That right has been resisted by successive governments and big business down through the decades. While the Constitution guarantees the right to be able to join a trade union, an employer doesn't have to recognise it and can simply refuse that right, the right of staff to collective bargaining and the protection that union membership offers. And when we take that employers have greater social and economic powers than workers, that's just a simple fact. The only power that a worker has is through combining with their co-workers so as they can't be picked off individually, as a tactic that's often used, and I've witnessed it myself in workplaces. Hundreds of thousands of low-paid workers have no representation and very little rights. And if we take the percentage of workers in the private sector that are now unionised, it's very, very low at the moment, and that needs to change. The employment in many sectors has become casualised with no set hours. Short-term contracts are common, as is so-called employment agencies. Workers' rights in a lot of cases have gone backwards, and that needs to change. Hard-won basic rights have been undermined by union busts and activities. Workers who join a trade union are sometimes targeted by their employer and victimised, and there are good examples of that around the state. One group of workers will be pled off against another, which is common practice, and in some cases unionised workers will be cleared out of a business and replaced with in a relatively short period of time with lower paid, non-unionised workers. And that can be seen around this country where that is happening. The beef industry and some beef plants, that happened. So while previous government ministers have stated that they fully support the right of any worker to join a trade union and be active in their trade union, they're hollow words. It doesn't have any meaning because you can't bring it into effect. And workers will tell you that. And if you talk to workers about joining a union, they'll express a fear in a lot of cases of being targeted by their bosses over being a union member. And could I ask you this, could you imagine the uproar if members of IBEC were told by government or the Hotel Federation or the IFA or other organisations which legitimately have a right to collectively negotiate with government, could you imagine if they were told by government that they can't represent their members, that should only deal with one or two of them individually? There'd be an uproar in this country. So it's time to close the loophole in Irish law. It's time to bring industrial relations into the 21st century. It's time to catch up with our EU neighbours. And, I heard your words that the government have committed to bringing in collective bargain. I would ask you not to backpedal on this. Put your foot on the accelerator and drive this on. We need to move into the 21st century with industrial relations in this country. And I appeal to all TDs to support this good bill. Thank you.
Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.